Hey guys, so today I am going to do a video about all about sleep training, getting your baby to sleep through the night. I think that's the one most important thing that when you're like a new time mom that you're like, how do I get my baby to sleep through the night? How do I get my baby to realize the difference between day and night? There are a lot of different tips, a lot of different ways you can have your baby sleep through the night. There's so many different like books about it, and I have 8 tips that helped Grayson sleep through the night before he was 2 months old. I just want to say before this video starts though, every baby is different. I cannot stress that enough. So if you guys try this and you didn't find that any of these tips were helpful, I can just say this is what worked for me and Grayson. I also kind of talked with Rachel because Jada started sleeping through the night really young as well, and she had almost the exact same tips as I had, except a couple more that I forgot to add. So thankfully I asked her to make I had 4 tips and she had 4 tips that I was like, oh my god, yeah, I did that too. But I totally forgot to say that. So Jada and Grayson though are totally different kids. Like they're totally different babies, and the same thing that worked for Jada worked for Grayson as well. So if you guys want to see how I got Grayson to sleep through the night, check out these 8 tips. Number 1, this is all starting when they're newborns. So, I mean, even if your baby's not a newborn, you can start now. But this is what I started when Grayson was born, like right away. The first thing that I did was at nighttime, when it was dark in the middle of the night, changing his diaper, feeding him, I did not talk to him at all. I wanted him to realize when it was dark, that is quiet time. Like there was no noise in our room. I didn't talk to him when I fed him. I didn't change his diaper. As much as you want to be like, oh, you're so cute, and just talk to him, don't do that. It gets them excited and it gets them to realize like, oh, you're talking to me. I want to play with you. I should wake up now. And so right away when he was born, immediately I stopped talking to him in the middle of the night. When it was dark, that was time for quiet time and to be quiet and bed. My second tip, try to make them realize the difference between day and night. I started putting him in his boppy in front of the sun. I just thought, well, he needs to realize that, you know, this is day, and then at nighttime it was really dark. So in the morning, in the whole during day, when he would sleep and nap, I would put him right up in the window in the sun so that he realized that it was bright and it was time to kind of be awake. And I didn't let the kids be quiet around the baby as well. They were just as loud as they always are in the morning and in the daytime. I let them, because you know what? I wanted Grayson to realize that the noise in the daytime is, you can be noisy in the daytime, but at nighttime it's dead quiet. So, so yeah, the kids, they were loud, whatever. It was bright. There was noise. The dogs were barking. So he realized more and more each and every day, this is day. This is time for me to be awake. And then at nighttime, when I had him realize the night, also quiet, but also dark. I always had a nightlight in, so I never had to turn on any lamps, any lights at all. I didn't want him to get confused by me turning on a lamp to feed him, because light to, you know, humans is time to be awake. And I didn't want him to realize that, so I made sure that I had a nightlight really close to my bed that I could see him, but it was still really dark and really dim. My next tip is pick one thing to be consistent about. Routine, routine, routine. This is like so important. What we did with Grayson is we put lotion on him every single night, and then we put his jammies on. And that's something Rachel did with Jada too as well. And it worked with her amazingly. I don't bathe him every night, so I didn't want to make that a routine. So every single night though, before I put his jammies on, I would give him a massage with lotion. So I would start with the lotion, just put it on him, and I'd massage his feet, and I'd massage his hands, I massage his arms, his back, his tummy, his little face, and his neck. He loves it. He thinks it's awesome. And it's just something we do every single night. So he kind of realizes like, okay, now it's time to go to bed. And that's our routine every single night. So pick something that you want to do. If you want to give your baby a bath every single night before bedtime, do it. As long as they realize that, oh, it's time for bed. You know, even when we're out though, that's the one thing that I knew that like, I'm not going to be able to give them a bath if I'm at my mom and dad's house or if I'm at a friend's house, but I have Grayson. Lotion is something I can take with me, put it on him every single night and put his jammies on even if I'm out and about. Pick a time for them to go down every single night. Grayson kind of picked his own time, but it was like the kids, both my kids go to, Austin and Nevaeh go to bed at 7:30 every single night. Grayson now is going to bed at 7:30 or 8 o'clock every single night. And so, you know, right around 7 o'clock we get ready for bed, you know, like lotion and jammies and then a bottle and then bed. So figure out your child's preference. Swaddling versus not swaddling, white noise versus not white noise. You know, every baby's different. Grayson didn't like to be swaddled. Rachel said Jada probably would not have slept through the night if they didn't swaddle her almost every single night. They swaddle her still. And so, you know, and Grayson didn't like it. So kind of figure out what your baby likes. If your baby's kind of, you know, really active and it wakes them up in the middle of the night, try swaddling them and swaddle their arms so that they're you know, more in a controlled environment and they can't move their arms, and then they'll just finally conk out. Grayson didn't like it. We got the white noisemaker and he started sleeping through the night like crazy. He didn't like, we had music and he liked the white noise better. So you have to kind of figure out what your child likes and what your child doesn't like. You know, maybe a swing or whatever. I don't know. Just that is something that I think that you have to try to figure out with your baby as well. Don't let them always fall asleep while eating. You don't want to start a bad habit. So if your baby, I know when they're really young, it's really hard not to, but try to maybe feed them and then burp and then change their jammies and then go to bed so that they learn to fall asleep by themselves. It's a really hard habit to break if you are letting them fall asleep on the boob or on the bottle and then quietly trying to lay them down and then sneaking out of the room. Grayson, I know for Grayson, we put him down awake because he's a sleep fighter. So he's the kind of kid that like, when he wants to go to sleep, like he wants to go to sleep now and he doesn't want anybody to hold him. He doesn't want anybody to rock him. He doesn't want to be in his swing. He wants to be in his crib by himself, and he'll cry for like 5 minutes and then he'll fall asleep. He doesn't like anything else. If I try to quietly put him in there, you know, and sneak out, that's something that I don't want to break when he's older because he's not always going to have a bottle to go to bed with, and I don't want him to. Make sure they are fed close to bedtime or right before bedtime. Grayson normally eats within a half an hour of when he goes to bed. What we do is, you know, we put his lotion on, put his jammies on, and then feed him a bottle, and then he goes to bed, but he doesn't fall asleep on the bottle. He normally will be, you know, really tired drinking the bottle, but when we lay him down, it's within a half an hour of him eating a bottle so that he, you know, it sustains him through the night. I know for sure Grayson at least has a bottle at 7 or later. Not anytime, he doesn't eat anytime before that. These are my 8 tips. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any other questions about sleep training or how we got him to sleep through the night, go ahead and leave them in the comments below and I'll definitely answer them to whatever you guys have. And I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.